Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Duncan Gorman. Today I'm joined by Anthony Delcross. We have just tasted 4 exceptional whiskies as well as 1 mystery single cask spirit. Join us for the September Outturn Podcast.
Feeling a bit schizophrenic, like stuck in a stable with loads of sheep and then drizzling some honey on some ricotta or something.
But you can have disgusting tasting notes that are still delicious somehow.
This is a minger, isn't it?
Calum Lawson, for the first time in forever, isn't with us today. He will be back, don't worry. You last sighted him scurrying around a bothy in the Highlands somewhere. Is he okay? Where's Calum?
As far as I know, I think he's okay. He's just decided that the Highlands were for him and he's locked himself in the bothy and he's not coming back so far. But once we're out of the whiskey, he'll probably come rolling back down the hills to get his fair share again. So
He's roaming with a haggis for now.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've got a great selection of whiskies here today. We've got 5 we're going to try. We've got a couple of honourable mentions as well. It's September, so it's gathering month. We've got some fun events that Anthony can walk us through. We've got some a very different bottling to what we usually talk about in the Outturn podcast, which I'm very excited to try because I've never actually tried this style of spirit from the society before. So yeah, let's just get tucked into it. First things first, would you like to walk us through our first whiskey of the day?
Yeah, for sure.
What have we got?
So this one's called Chewy-textured meandering from distillery number 6, so 6.83. So we've carried on with the 2-to-1 series that we started, I think at first was in April. And so far, to be honest, everything I've tried from that series is really nice and has been very well received by a lot of members.
What is the 2-to-1 series, just for people that might have missed it thus far?
So it's a series that brings a bit more transparency in terms of what we're doing. We're just basically kind of doing a combination of 2 different styles of casks that will kind of bring in an even more unique type of flavor to the whiskey that you'll be experiencing. So it's still within a flavor profile that we all know, which is sweet, fruity, and mellow. But there are some flavor combinations there that would be relatively unique to the combination of casks that we're going to put together. And for this one, we are obviously a combination with some ex-bourbon, and then first fill Spanish oak Oloroso and first fill American oak Oloroso. So that one kind of really ties in a really nice combination of American and European styles of oak together. So
Crack it open.
Yeah.
So this is combining the contents of 2 separate casks into one.
Yeah.
And this is the final product that we've got here.
Yeah, so it was initially aged in bourbon, then separated it into the American oak Oloroso and Spanish oak Oloroso, and then combined together again. Both first fill as well, so first Scotch whiskey to put in the casks. And first fill, but we can have a look at the colour quickly. You can see that it probably wasn't in there for too long, because obviously first fill would have a massive impact
Quite a
on
significant influence, yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't know exactly how much time they've been in the casks for, but I would say it was relatively short period.
And 17 years old in total, this one. And it's fallen to a natural cask strength of 53%. So,
yeah.
I mean, it smells very, easy going on the nose for me already.
I mean, I've tried a few recent releases from Distillery 6 and drastically improved, in my opinion. Or I've just all of a sudden just became quite a fan of Distillery 6, which is why I chose it for today, because there's been some cracking whiskey since the beginning of the year, and usually they're all like 15 years older, and they tend to just actually be really nice and just drinkable and easy.
It's a distillery you don't really see all that often as a single malt, which is why we've just recently covered it in Unfiltered as our latest unsung hero distillery, because the majority of its spirit goes into blends. So being able to appreciate it here as like a single cask strength offering is pretty unique. So it's fun getting to share a new distillery with people that is a name they maybe haven't heard, or they haven't been able to try it in this form yet. So especially at 17 years old as well, it's got a good age on it.
It smells amazing. It was very oaky initially on the nose there. I just thought I was just getting a lot of that kind of fresh tannic spice, a little bit of that kind of grassy maltiness, but now the sweet, fruity, and mellow flavor profile's coming out. It just needs a bit of time in the glass, I think.
Let's have a little taste.
Yeah. I don't want to sound cliched, but it's just super smooth.
I'm getting a lot of dark berries.
It's like Ribena almost, like just
Yeah.
like quite concentrated.
Diluting juice or something.
Yeah. And the finish, this is something I like, and that to me is a great, like a sign of great quality for any spirits across the board, is when you have that like dry finish on it. That just makes it a little bit moreish, that you're asking for that initial hit of sweet fruitiness.
Keeps you coming back for more.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try this with a little bit of water, which I recommend always. Just experiment, try it out. And even sometimes if you're trying the same, you've been drinking the same whiskey for a wee while and you're not getting the same hit from it, and just add a bit of water again. Like it's more, sometimes we think it's about the whiskey, it's the whiskey why we add the water to it, but I think it's actually more about us and what mood we're in, and if we've had any food and what state our palate is in. That's also something to be aware of when you're drinking, because I've just had that so many times, like drinking a whiskey straight, enjoying it that way, and then have it again like a week later and going like, this is a complete different whiskey or any other spirit, and then I had a bit of water, and then I found it again. So it's actually more about us than the whiskey itself sometimes.
No, it is incredible the amount that it can actually change the way you perceive either the flavors in the glass, whether you enjoy a dram. There's been times where I've tried something, I've loved it, I've bought it, I've then brought it home, and the next time I've tried it, I've gone, that's a different whiskey. I've still enjoyed it, but I'm like, that is not what I remember my first impressions being at all. So yeah, no, you're right. It's like the level of detail you can go down to for what affects the way you perceive each whiskey is crazy. So yeah, good to have an open mind and try it as many different ways as you can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you notice any big changes there with the water?
Yeah, I was feeling that I needed a bit of water to it, and now it's what's the word, like quaffable. Like it's just super easy to drink. This is a really easy dram to share. I actually thoroughly appreciate the kind of like the lack of sherry influence in it, because when you see like double first fill, it feels a bit scary, but then it's in the sweet, fruity, and mellow flavor profile, so surely sherry influence wouldn't be that strong, or else it probably would have been put in the deep rich rye fruit. That would be my thinking. But yeah, I appreciate that because it's actually super balanced. So it was aged in refill bourbon probably for, I would say, like 13, 15 years at the very least. So it just gives the spirit a lot of time to just kind of breathe and not too much influence from the oak. And then the sherry brings in these like nice fruity, like we said, like just kind of cordial Ribena, concentrated red fruit juice.
It's so approachable, isn't it? Like, you could really, it's a great whiskey to kick this off, I think.
Absolutely. The Spanish oak also brings in a bit of these kind of like marzipan-y, tannic notes in the finish, which is quite it's just super well balanced. It's really fun. That's a great whiskey to just sit and taste, and even for people that are like novices and stuff, and share with, because it's just not so inoffensive.
Yeah. There we go. That's a great one to start off with. So that is £99. 17-year-olds from a distillery that is massively underrated, I would say, in Scotch whiskey. So if you want to try something a little bit different that you can't really find anywhere else, I think that's a great first pick. Do you want to get another couple of glasses? We can crack on to the next one. Anthony, you have actually been on the podcast before. In case people haven't seen that episode, do you want to just remind people who you are, what your role in the society is, and what it is you do for us?
So I am basically events manager for the UK, and also run our brand activations, so just kind of bringing the tangible brand experiences to life. Although I say events manager for the UK, but I'm part of a bigger team. In terms of the events that I organise, it's just purely the events that are outside of our members' rooms. So just organising events from Inverness down to Southampton for members that don't have access to the members' rooms and that would just like to enjoy the communal side of being a member, and also just get the chance to taste some of our whiskies. So I try to grow it slowly but steadily and bring as much whiskey as possible to everyone across the country. And then in terms of the kind of brand activations, that's more, I guess, in terms of just recruitment and bringing the brand out there physically, and kind of exhibitions and shows, whiskey festivals and things like that, and try to bring the society to maybe a crowd that has never heard of us before.
And so what have we got coming up in September then?
So September is a pretty big month of the year for when it comes to SMWS experiences, because it's a gathering month. It's initially kind of started as our anniversary month. in terms of events, it's huge because it's gathering. We're trying to bring members together. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before where we did the biggest online tasting, things like that. But so this year we're just really trying to just focus on getting members together, throwing as many events as possible. So there's obviously a lot of things happening in venues. And then for me on the road across the country, I think I've got about 12, 15 events going about through the country. What's really important as well for me when I'm organizing those events is just to try to bring some really nice exclusive juice, some approachable stuff that people can maybe buy and take away, and then some other whiskies that are a little bit more premium, potentially some bottles that people wouldn't think about buying but would like to taste and things like that. So it's really important to have that right balance, and then just get everyone together in a room and enjoy the juice.
You love calling it juice. I've noticed that. Whenever we're together, it's always, we got some good juice. Speaking of good juice, next up, this is distillery number 11, Cask 69, Past the Parcel. It's 9 years old, from the Highland region, and it's been in a first fill ex-bourbon barrel. So immediately I'm thinking this would probably be quite approachable as well.
Yeah. Smells like, you can really smell the mash. Like it's just, you can smell the beer or something. Like it's got that like really fruity. A note about this distillery, I think it's one of the distilleries that has one of the longest fermentations as well. Like sometimes they go up to it's like 90 to 100 hours, I think.
And so for anyone that might not know, what sort of influence will a longer or shorter fermentation have on the final product?
It will usually bring in some fruitier notes, some like kind of more ripe fruits, and something that you'll kind of steer away from the malty grassiness, or like hay, things like that. But then, I mean, there's a lot of factors after that can change
so much. Isn't it? It's ridiculous. When we did a documentary at the start of the year that was all about the different parameters that go into creating Scotch whiskey's flavour. And I mean, we had to cut it down to around 20 minutes, but really it could have been about 3 hours. It's ridiculous. The number of things that can change it, from the distillery, the grain, the yeast, the fermentation, the still shapes, the sizes, the lengths, the condensers, and that's still just really in the distillery. As soon as you come out of there, you go into the cask types, the woods, the treatments, even the temperature that it's matured in. It's insane. And then you go down to I guess your perception of the flavour, like we were just talking about, is ridiculous. Let's have a little taste and see what like.
What's the strength on it again?
I think this one is 61.9, so it is a little bit stronger.
I found it super easy though.
Yeah.
And like I get a bit of heat in the end, but I enjoy it because it's so easy to. It's just so rich at the beginning. You got that nice kind of creamy vanilla. There are loads of. This is actually really nice, just light dram. I'm
getting a little bit of pastry in there. Maybe like
it's buttery, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's like something.
Like a croissant, that sort of thing, buttered croissant. There's definitely fresh fruit as well. Maybe more like apples, that sort of thing this time.
You mentioned pastries, like that is literally all I'm smelling is that like kind of little whiff of a bakery kind of thing.
I love it when I get one right. Do you want to try some water?
I do want to try. The nose on it is amazing, but I think that kind of heavy alcohol hit on the finish kind of is asking for a bit of water.
Yeah, is. And sometimes I guess that's the whole thing about it being cask strength, is that sometimes you drink and it is just perfect the way it is and you don't want to add anything. But we're giving people the option, so even if it is a little bit strong, I think a lot of people still feel the implication that they have to just drink it as it is because of the stereotype around, people feel so strongly about the way you're meant to drink whiskey, when really it's like, just drink it however you like it. If it tastes good out of the bottle, great. If it's a little bit too strong, then there's nothing wrong with it. Not a wee splash of water.
Exactly, just drink it the way you want to. I mean,
What do you think that water's doing there then?
Yeah, it's improved it massively, and now we're getting like chocolate chip cookies, but it's all so subtle and really like overall it just screams like simplicity, which is something that I think a lot of us actually ask for. Like we don't need any fireworks. Like
you don't need to think too much about it. You can just enjoy it. Yeah,
exactly.
How much is this whiskey, Tony?
It's £55.
Wow, you can't complain about that.
No, you can't.
No, we're just making a joke. Richard, who's always obviously the original host of the podcast used to love a bargain, and any deals under £60, his catchphrase was always, "You cannot complain about that." So that is a bottle you cannot complain about. £55, cask strength, from another distillery. They often pass on the way up the A9.
I think so, yeah.
Tell me everything you know about this distillery.
You're pretty close to, not too far from Inverness.
Yeah.
I've actually done a few tastings up in Inverness, and some of the members that come to these events are guys that retired and they used to work for the distillery and things like that. So I'm always kind of very apprehensive when I've got one of them on the lineup and I've got to talk about it.
You got to do it justice.
Yeah. They usually end up taking over. And quite...
Fact checking you halfway through. I think you'll find. You enjoy that one?
I did very much. Yeah. I think that's like there's a bit of a yearning for those kind of whiskies, because I think for the last few years, or even more than that, like 5-10 years, there's been massive demand for loads of big punchy flavors, so like peat, sherry, all these like kind of big heavy complex drams. And sometimes when I talk to members now and I ask them, like, what do you want to see more of in like lineups and stuff like that for tastings, and a lot of them do end up just saying, I just want to try something ex-bourbon, like just easy to drink,
steady Eddie,
yeah. And that definitely ticks the boxes for that. And I believe that I actually have that in the lineup for my tastings in September.
Oh, there you go. Well, if you want a dram you can't complain about.
Yeah, there's a few. There's 3 in the lineup that we're trying today that are in the lineup for tastings in September.
Where's your creativity? Come on, Tony.
I just wanted to make sure that I picked the right whiskies for the tastings.
Speaking of whiskies, we have another whiskey here that we can try. Do you want to walk us through this one? So this is one of our gathering bottlings, and I'm going to give it to you to walk through because there's no information on the label.
Yeah. So 8.51, Go East. Distillery number 8 is a distillery that we've been bottling quite a bit, and I think in the last year. It did reopen in 2013, so I think that's why we managed to get our hands on some nice, fun casks, good prices. And also what's really good is that this is one of the distilleries that is just perfect for sherry casks. Here we're on a full 9-year maturation in the first fill PX, but
wow.
So that is going to be great fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big fans of distillery number 8, and especially like people that love those. So here we're on the polar opposite of what we just tried.
I was just gonna say we've turned a leaf there.
Yeah.
And as you say, this distillery is renowned for its sherry maturation.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try. So we moved on to our deep, rich and dried fruits flavor profile, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. You can see sherry about 670 bottles out of the cask. And this is also exclusive to the UK.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which, already you can see.
Yeah, it looks entirely different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Almost has like savory notes. It's big, it's sulfury.
Yeah.
I always initially just get into just save it. Like it's obviously we're using Pedro Jimenez casks, Spanish sherry, but I just always get into these kind of Spanish savory foods, just cured meats. Even this, I kind of get gazpacho, just rich tomatoey.
Gabagool.
A little bit gabagool. But that's a meal.
And so what is it? You said it's almost a slight hint of sulfuriness. Where do you think that would be coming from?
So it would be coming from the sherry casks.
Yeah.
From the Pedro Jimenez itself. Yeah.
Because I guess it's not too often that you see an entire 9 years in first of all Pedro Jimenez.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's a lot right now, but as I said earlier, there's loads of demand for these kind of profiles. Obviously, supply kind of went down. This is across the industry. And now all I can say about us is that we're going to bring more and more of these kind of really nice, big, bold sherry drams, and it's going to keep coming for the next few years. So it's quite exciting.
Yeah.
And I mean, the sulfuriness is already gone for me. I don't know if you're now. I'm just deep into it's just tomato concentrate, serrano ham or bruschetta, these kind of things. That's definitely a dram that'll open your appetite.
So when you're pairing a dram with something to eat, do you try and match the tasting notes with what's in the whiskey? How would you approach that yourself?
I think there has to be flavors that kind of marry well, and I think that there's different types of pairings, and I guess the safer option is to just kind of match the flavors, but they're also just matching the intensity, which is why, like, for instance, like a crazy pairing, which is like peated whiskey, heavily peated whiskey and blue cheese, just sounds crazy, but both flavors are just so intense that once you put them together, it's just something absolute
They can
fireworks.
hold up against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I guess if you put something like one of those first two drams up against some blue cheese, it wouldn't stand a chance.
Exactly, yeah. So I think the first point you want to do is just check on the intensity of flavors, and if it's massive, if it's complex, then you want to match that with a food item that's reminiscent of that as well. And yeah, so I think like the first one, sorry, the whiskey from Distillery 11, you would probably just have that with some kind of more kind of subtle, creamier desserts or things like that. Definitely something on the sweeter side, I would say, and even with the first one as well.
Do you have any favourite pairings that you've had over the years?
I just think it's unbeatable when, you were there when we had the freshly shucked scallop, like sliced up, and then just poured some Colila on it.
Yeah,
and that was just insane. Like that was
it
that
could
was
not
just
be
great.
any fresher.
But I guess, is that a pairing or is that a meal in itself? Yeah,
I guess technically it's
Yeah.
pairing. Yeah, I mean that was a special day in general. Although I did embarrass myself trying to. I exposed my uncultured self
when you were holding the crab claw, and you looked at me and you're like, "Tony, what am I
doing?" Begging for help. This is the plead in my eyes for an adult to come and help me unshell my lobster. Yeah, it was worth it once you get in, but I did totally embarrass myself. But at least the members enjoyed it, so they were a bit more experienced than myself.
But yeah, no, I think for food pairings, I always love to just, and I think that's probably like the kind of Frenchman in me that's like, I just want to stick to like terroir, and if your whiskey's from Islay, it's going to be great with seafood. It's going to be like, if you start with that, like for some reason it just can't be wrong. It can't get wrong. There's a reason why there's certain dishes that have sustained themselves for centuries in the country, and we've been making whiskey for centuries, and so there's a reason why those things go together. So it's good to also just kind of rely, I guess, a bit on history and regionality. But I mean, literally, yeah, the world is your oyster. Like, you can play around with flavors. But I think the main rule is, for me anyway, is just match intensities of flavor, and from there, like, you can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah.
Might not please everyone, but
same with whiskey, I guess, in general. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole point with us releasing so many bottles every month is that you don't have to like everyone. As long as there's one or two from each outturn that you love, then you don't have to absolutely love every other one.
Yeah,
it's all about the variety. So anyway, what were we thinking? We got distracted there.
I was actually just thinking about what I would eat with this, and I think this is just like again, like a
little cheese board or something.
Cheese board, Serrano ham, like some like nice little kind of tapas-y things. But yeah, like a nice cheese. Like I'm thinking like the there's a sheep's, like a Hughes milk cheese from the Basque Country, between France and Spain. They both make it, and this would be perfect with it because it's like it's a bit nutty, it's a bit creamy. Like you just have a bit of the cheese and a bit of the whiskey with it. It would just be perfect.
You are making me hungry. So is this because you've not had your lunch? You're directing us towards food chat.
I mean, there's always a conversation. Like the sommeliers, some sommeliers always say like the best time to taste, whether it's wine or whiskey or whatever, is like aperitif time, like before lunch in the morning. That's when we have our tasting panels. They start at 10:30, 11. Have a light breakfast, but when you're hungry, I mean, I know it's a bit dangerous to drink on an empty stomach, but when you're hungry, your taste buds are just super active. So, especially
in the tasting pan as well, because they're not drinking all the whiskey. Often they'll use a spittoon.
Yeah. We use the spittoon. Yeah.
So for tasting, it's ideal. But yeah, proceed with caution.
Exactly.
Starting at 10:30.
Drink loads of water. Give yourself plenty of time.
So this next bottle is what I am most excited about today. As I mentioned, I have never had the chance to try one of these. This is a single cask rum from the Society that's been aged for 18 years. First of all, in an ex-bourbon barrel, before being transitioned to a final cask of a toasted French oak barrique. So yeah, you were also very excited about this.
Yeah.
You specifically asked if we could include this. So I have never tried a society rum. Wow.
Yes, it smells really good.
How are you with the society's other single cask spirits? Are you well versed? Have you managed to try a few of them?
I've obviously tried a lot, but I would say in terms of knowledge, it's still a lot more around whiskey. And it's just because I live in Scotland, I've had the chance to meet other people in the whiskey industry, go to distilleries. For instance, like rum distilleries, I've actually never had the chance to visit one, although I'll be going to Brazil at the end of the year, so hopefully I'll have the chance to visit a cachaça distillery, which is very similar to rum. But I've tried quite a few of our society rums, and R2 distillery R2 is one of my top favorites. R2, R12. I've got a massive sweet tooth for rum, and these just really hit the spot.
So this distillery is also in South America.
Yeah, Guyana.
Guyana?
Yeah.
Guyana is how you pronounce it? Just next to Venezuela, is that right?
Yeah, you're in the kind of north eastern part of. It's still part of France, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I can smell this from arm's length, just about.
Yeah.
The sweetness is just hitting me in the face. So wow. I mean, it obviously is going to be different from whiskey, but it's interesting getting to pair them back to back like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even tasted rum on its own, I don't think.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's where I'm at. I've never tasted it just for the taste of the spirit. It's usually with a mixer of some kind.
Yeah.
And before heading out.
Some kind of spiced rum and Coke or something, yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
But it's quite like rum and whiskey really go in parallel, and they are very different in terms of flavor. But it's quite funny because I meet people that initially got into whiskey, but like they just drank like Jack and Coke and like those were the things, and then they slowly but surely kind of got into this kind of stuff. And rum's the same thing. Like people just drink spiced rum and Coke, and then
you get to try the good stuff, and you end up leaning towards it. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to give it a taste.
It's got a lot of body. It's really. What's the strength on this again?
63.
Yeah, 63.
So it is. It certainly does pack a punch.
It's pretty robust. And the interesting thing as well about the French oak barrique that it was finished in, so it's a second fill. The whiskey that was in that before was a whiskey that we aged from distillery 121. I can't remember the exact bottle. But yeah, and the French oak has a bit of a influence on it as well, bringing that like spiciness again. Usually I kind of get like white pepper. That's more in terms of like with whiskey, but I can definitely get something like allspice, pepper, things like that.
Yeah. There's a very specific smell and taste that I'm getting from it, but I'm not quite sure how to put my finger on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to describe it.
Very sweet and desserty and creamy on the nose. Like all like there's these little kind of pastry that you can get in Bordeaux called cannelés, and that's just exactly what it just smells like. Which cannelés are? They think there is like rum included in the batter. Yeah,
it's almost like raisin desserts, that sort of thing. Raisin pastries.
It's massive though. And it's like tobacco. Then you're going on like this. I probably shouldn't say that'd be good with a cigar, should I?
No, we do cigar tastings in London and stuff. So.
Yeah. This would be this would be really nice with a cigar. Like this is.
You can't say that.
I've been catfished. There's definitely notes of
what is I really can't. I'm drawn in by it. I just want to keep smelling it because I can't quite put my finger on what. There's a very unique character. It's so different to a whiskey. There are comparable elements, definitely.
Yeah.
Some of the very sweet aspects I think are almost very similar to like a Pedro Jimenez cask or something like that. But it's so different, but very alluring.
An upper decky. I definitely get notes. I get loads of tobacco and it's like so chewy and like it's got loads of tobacco.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Upper decky pairing.
Should we try it with water and see?
Yeah. No, I would love to.
So I don't think this is something that's.
I think it's this one.
Traditionally, I don't think this is much of a tradition in rum to dilute it with water.
Where would you say that rum is most popular in this form then?
So funnily enough, in Brazil, so cachaça is it's its own product, but it's basically rum. It's very similar to agricole rum. So agricole rum is made with sugarcane juice, with the fresh juice, and then it's just fermented and distilled. Cachaça do the same. This distillery in Guyana, they make this is a number off the top of my head, but I would say probably about 80% or the majority of the rum in the world is made with molasses, which is the processed sugarcane juice, so it's a bit different. But yeah, agricole rum, which can only be made in Martinique and Guadeloupe, and then in Brazil you've got cachaça. Those are made with the fresh sugarcane juice, and then you've also got rhum clairin, which is made in Haiti, I think, and I think it's a similar sugarcane juice based rum. But yeah, sorry, to answer your question, cachaça is massively consumed in Brazil, for instance.
Yeah.
It's like the number one consumed spirit.
Wow.
They've got a massive population. So yeah, that's.
And you think that's largely just drunk straight?
No, a lot of them will have it probably in caipirinhas. It sounds a bit cheesy, but the caipirinha cocktail is actually like super popular over there.
Okay.
Which is just like another variation of the daiquiri, which you've just mixed some sugar, some fresh limes, and some cachaça. Usually it's just unaged white cachaça.
That was going to be my next question was, what cocktail would you throw this into if you wanted to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose that we could be here for a while if we got stuck in.
I don't know. I honestly don't know because it's the same like rum cocktail. I'm not really that well versed. I've probably there's a cocktail called a corn and oil, which is really nice, and that is just rum and velvet falernum, which is like a rum based, or like it's an alcoholic cordial. It's made with like cardamom, spices, lime. It's really nice. It's like if you want to like get into tiki cocktails, that's like the first ingredient you need to get even before rum. Like velvet falernum is delicious. And that's all it is. It's just like a kind of rum old fashioned made with velvet falernum. Probably would mix it with that, I think, because you want to make the spirit justice. I mean, it's 18 years old. It's delicious. Like throwing it in a daiquiri with some limes and some sugar. I mean, why not? But
spirit won't sing as much.
Yeah, exactly.
I might be way off with this, but I'm almost thinking it's almost smells like damp wood, like freshly cut damp wood.
I was getting something different on the aroma.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing, talking about, is it damp wood? I think there is something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like freshly cut tree, but it's that sort of like really saturated stave or something like that, where it's just totally soaked through.
Yeah. An interesting fact about that distillery as well is that they use wooden stills, which they're one of the only distilleries to do that, because it's an old distillery from the 1600s, I think. And yeah, they use wooden stills, which is a bit of a hybrid. Like they're still copper.
How does that work?
So it's copper at the base, and then you've got your copper in your neck, your copper neck at the top, and then the rest of it is just these massive staves. They use a kind of indigenous wood for it. They do replace them. Not that
quite regular.
I don't. Yeah, they have been replaced. Not like it's been the same staves for 500 years.
Oh no, yeah.
But apparently, that the wooden stills just does bring in something much more robust, and they've got two different sets, and one of them is single. I believe it's single distillation, it's one pot still, and then the other one is double distillation with like the similar to like Scotch whisky industry. Scotch whisky is your wash still and your spirit still, and yeah, apparently that brings in a lot more kind of robust flavors and things like that. So I don't know if diluting it and like that, those notes of I don't know, like dampness. And...
Yeah, there's an aspect. There's definitely a taste to it. I can't quite put my finger on it. There's just totally different to any whiskey I've ever tasted, but it is equally delicious. So there you go. If you want to try your first society rum, single cask rum that's been matured for 18 years, this is a great option, and it is £92. So get your hands on that if you're a big rum guy.
Yeah, it's a massive bargain for an 18-year-old like single cask rum. And I think that French oak finish, like the little SMWS touch to it, the French oak secondary maturation, what are we calling it? additional maturation.
Additional maturation, yeah.
Especially that French oak additional maturation brings in that like SMWS touch to it.
Yeah, that little flair, yeah.
Yeah. It's great fun. I think it's good to have like a little rum in your
It's fun to
selection.
try something different as well. You know, we've been doing this podcast for a while now, and we're picking out all the whiskies. When you look at them individually, are very different to each other. But it's fun to throw in a little curveball like this, and just try something totally new.
Yeah,
so
especially from this distillery, like they know what they're doing. I mean, they've been in, like,
they'd have to be for
they've existed
been around
for a very
for this
long
long,
time.
yeah.
And we can't name any of the brands that they produce rum for, but they produce rum for some of the biggest brands out there.
We've got a couple of honourable mentions here before we finish up with some more bold flavours. Do you want to pick one, Tony? We can give it a little shout out.
Shout out to I guess this is one of our flagship distillery numbers, to be honest. So number 35, 35.408, Flamenco dancer meets a ballerina. Distillery 35 never disappoints, really. Whether it's 10 years old or 32 years old, whatever we've released from them, it's always worked really, really well. So here were Deep Rich Dried Fruits, ex-bourbon Hoggy, and then First Fill Oloroso Hogshead. So we're going to be on something similar to what the whiskey from Distillery 8 was. So probably on these kind of nice dry spices, maybe a little bit of that. Cured meats and dried fruits, things like that. But I've had loads of these deep, rich, dried fruit 35s. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm already seeing Pata Negra.
Yeah, give us a flavour, give us some tasting notes. Seeing as we don't get to give it a taste ourselves.
Yeah, the vitality of fiery flamencoistas in a Spanish bar, boots, cheroots, and Pata Negra combines with the balanced poise of a toffee popcorn ballet star. Beautiful.
Nice. Well, there you go. You can give that a little look up if you fancy it. Our other honourable mention here is Distillery 142. It's only our third cask from this distillery. High Heat and Old Ideas. This is 7 years old from New York. If you can piece that one together. And it's our first fill... it's the first fill level 1 char barrel. There you go. And I'll give you a little taste of the tasting notes as well. Another tour through the diners, canteens, and themes of America. Savory, sweet, dark, detailed, and wonderfully chewy, spicy and beautiful. And that is 67.1%, which is insane.
Yeah, that's massive.
I don't even know that was legal, to be honest. So there you go. Try that if you would like to try some whiskey from America.
I don't know if this is a true story, but I think we tried to import some of our rums when we started bottling them like 10 odd years ago. And they got knocked back by customs in Scandinavia because they were so high that they were like, that's an explosive. It's not a spirit.
It's too much of a risk, a flight risk. That I've never seen. Have you seen one that high before? 67% is insane.
There was a really good one that was released for Bath Street. It was an exclusive to Bath Street. It was called Nobody Expects the Spanish Inquisition from Distillery 73. Full sherry maturation. I can't remember if it was Oloroso or PX. And it was at 68%. And it was unreal. 8 years old.
Wow.
And, like, you didn't even need to add water to it.
Yeah, it didn't taste like that at all.
Yeah. So that's why these are big, scary numbers, but I mean, it's the type of cask it was aged in. You still need to give it.
It's always fun to taste the whiskey first and then look at the label.
Yeah,
because all these sorts of things can like give you little preconceptions about what it should taste like or whether it's good whiskey or not. When really, if you just taste the juice, that's the most important thing. I wonder where that was matured as well, because the temperature can have a big influence in how much the percentage drops as well, can't it? So
yeah, I was thinking that, and honestly, I just don't have the answer. I don't really know. That's something that probably
bring Calum back. I'm sure he would know. Okay, on to our last dram. Would you like to walk us through this one?
Yeah. So this is cask number 122.79. Unapologetically Wild. Distillery 122 is it's a number for a type of spirit that's made in a distillery that's not too far from where we are.
We always say this is the sort of Frankenstein's distillery.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And it's got multiple different codes in the society because they produce such different styles of
variety,
spirits. Even though it is technically the same site,
Yeah.
they have the freedom to create a very vast number of flavors from the same distillery.
Yeah, I can smell that from here.
Wow, yeah, I was just thinking that as someone smoking in the back. Yeah, that is very heavily peated, isn't it?
Oh, I could definitely have that with
Wow.
like the strongest blue cheese you can imagine.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Minger?
Yeah.
You could have this with a slice of Minger, which I think is the most excellently named cheese you can find.
This is a Minger, isn't it?
It goes back to how it definitely translates to whiskey, how you can have disgusting tasting notes that are still delicious somehow, and it's sometimes that's the most appealing part of the dram, is that off, almost like grungy, it's like that farmyard funk manure. Sometimes the most unappealing tasting notes can be what draw people in.
It's just like everything that's going through my head is a bit wild when I'm just smelling this, almost like feeling a bit schizophrenic. Between, like at some point I'm in like stuck in a stable with loads of sheep, and then I'm just drizzling some honey on some ricotta or something.
Yeah.
But there's just so much going on. And like it is very barnyardy.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of hay, grungy hay.
Yeah. Like growing up in Ireland, and we always had horses around. My uncle worked in stables, like trading horses for racing, and just like, you know, very damp, wet weather. Like the horse has been out for like 2 hours, and you just walk in, you smell like the saddle, like that. It's just the sweaty horse and the leather, like that combination. I get it a lot with these kind of whiskeys.
Yeah.
I think, but that's just pure like nostalgia. I don't know.
Taking you straight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite way of tasting and smelling, is really just think about what it reminds you of. Like, you don't need to have
See where it takes you.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
That is the most fun. And I think that's when when it clicks. It's when you smell or taste something and it reminds you of something that you've experienced 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And I think that I'm addicted to that kind of feeling. Just bringing back these memories through flavor and aroma as well.
Wow, what soundbite. All right, we've done a lot of talking.
I haven't tasted
Should we taste it?
Yeah. By the way, do you know what type of cask this is finished in?
Are you going to tell me?
Can you guess?
Oh no. This is my worst nightmare.
On the nose, I wouldn't have guessed like what that type of
So
cask.
sweet on the palate, I think.
It is. It's actually like less unapologetically wild.
Yeah, the nose is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like circus, farmyard, there's so much going on, and then you taste it and it's just like a little bit of salty sweetness, and some the smoke's not overpowering. From how it smells to how it tastes. It's actually a lot more balanced in the glass, I think. If I had to guess, cut. I actually was going to guess that too.
There you go. See, believe in yourself.
I actually was. It smells like American PX. Am I right? Staring at me? But you're right. No, it is definitely a lot more balanced inside the glass than it is on the nose.
There's actually, I was just thinking, because obviously we were away for the weekend with Calum and some friends and staying in this bothy and stuff, and we had some whiskies to share. And Calum actually brought some chocolate, and there was dark chocolate with salted caramel in it. And this is actually a good example of a bit of a wilder kind of combination when you think about both things individually. Because on the nose it's a bit wild, and on the nose I said like blue cheese, but now when I'm tasting it, I actually want to have a little piece of dark chocolate,
raspberry chocolate, that sort of thing.
And it would just like.
Do you ever see you get dark raspberry chocolate out at Tesco's, and it would be perfect with this. Delicious.
Because of how rich and sweet it is on the palate, it actually works. And the chocolate, the sweetness will kind of tame that smokiness. Yeah.
I like a whiskey like that. Can't judge a book by its cover, you know?
Yeah.
You need to give it its time, have a little taste, and you try it with a little splash of water as well. Although initially I'm not inclined to put too much water in this. It's not wild.
So that's kind of like,
it's very approachable as it is.
I will try it for the sake of the
experiment.
Yeah.
For science.
But I usually, when I don't drink that much peated whiskey, I really just drink, most of the time I drink peated whiskey to taste.
Yeah.
and I won't like have it with water. I just feel like I'm on the, when you go for like single cask strength, heavily peated whiskey, you're already in the mindset of kind of hurting yourself. Like you want that, you want that intensity.
You like the pain.
And then when you add the water, it kind of dims that experience.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
yeah,
that's
dilutes it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Everything's not as intense as it could be. Which you're right. It's why people love the society so much, is because the flavors are so intense. They're so bold.
Oh, this is so good though with the water. It's even better.
I haven't tried it. What are you thinking?
Oh, we've completely tamed the beast now. We're talking about the dark chocolate and the and all. Like it's just, yeah, that's wild how different. Like to me, it's completely different.
Wow.
No, it's all about the sherry. It's all about the sherry cask.
Yeah, you can almost actually get a little bit of like nuttiness in there as well.
Yeah, this is a great dram. So glad I've got that.
Is that your best out of the pick, you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's very rare for me to pick the peated one, but this is so much fun to drink.
Unapologetically wild.
Yeah. And
if you had, how much would you pay for that dram?
If I was at a festival, at a random stand, I would taste it. I'd be ready to cough up about 120 quid for it because it's that good.
£60.
Yeah, there you
in
go.
the September outturn. £60. So there you go. That is, what can't you do about
that? I can't complain.
You can't complain about that. You can't complain about that. That is a really good deal, and there's so many different layers to that whiskey. Yeah, as I say, you can taste it.
It's crazy. It's like
with
a
water, without
Hyde
water. Nosing it is entirely different to how it tastes. Yeah, a really fun one. And if you're into your peat, that's a great place to get into. Even the flavor. I mean, some people that don't like peat might get put off by the smell, but the taste is actually a lot more approachable than it smells. Even though the name does suggest it's unapologetically wild, it is quite balanced as well. So there is something for everyone in there.
But I feel like it's no longer wild anymore once you add the water. It's the opposite. It's just it's tamed.
Yeah, you've tamed the beast. That was good. I like that.
This is really good fun. I love this. And usually when people use the term fun, it's a bit derogative for whiskies, but here it's fun in a really good way. Like you can definitely get people that are not into peated whiskey to at least taste it and try it, because I feel like there is. The water was a great suggestion because and I was there slagging you off. And
yeah, you're welcome.
There you go.
You can apologize anytime.
As a matter of fact, I am also unapologetically wild.
On that note, this has been the September Outturn Podcast. Thank you for joining in. The links to these bottles will be in the description down below. Let us know what you think, if you try them, if you have any favourites. And yeah, we'll be back next month with or without Calum, depending if he's still shacked up in the Highlands somewhere. But thanks for coming on, Tony. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
And we'll see you all next month.